name is Kevin Fernandez, and welcome to my channel, Gamers Genie. Today, we're going to learn the bewitching card game, Hocus Pocus, the game. This 2 to 6 player game designed by Prospera Hall and published by Ravensburger. The Sanderson sisters are back. Someone lit the black candle and resurrected them from beyond the grave. Now, the children of Salem are in danger, and it's up to you to make sure that their evil is defeated and they are banished back to where they came. Will you be successful, or are the children of Salem doomed? Find out as we go to the table and learn how to play Hocus Pocus, the game. Place the cauldron board in the center of the play area. Place the 4 trick tokens and the Binks mover nearby. We're going to place them right down there. Place the witch board on one side of the cauldron in view of all players. Place the sun token on the lowest space on the witch board and place the stun token nearby the witch board. Shuffle the spell cards and place them face down next to the witch board. Shuffle the ingredient cards, and I'll activate my Genie magic now. Like so. And then deal a hand to each player. If you're playing with a 2 or 3 players, deal 4 ingredients. And if you're playing 6 players, you need to deal 3 ingredients. Since we are playing a 2-player game, we're dealing 4 ingredients to each player. You may look at your hand, but you must keep it a secret from the other players. Place the remaining ingredients face down next to the cauldron. The player who most recently lit a candle gets to go first. And when in doubt, oldest player gets to be the first player. And that completes the setup. Hocus Pocus is played in rounds, starting with the first player and proceeding clockwise. Players take turns asking for information by playing cards into the cauldron. If the top card of all 5 piles in the cauldron match by color or type, then the round ends. Otherwise, play continues. Ask 1 question to determine who has a specific ingredient, color, or ingredient type, without revealing their cards or any additional information. Each other player answers. So, for example, I could say, I could try to get like all purple cards. So I'd be like, oh, does anybody have purple? And, that then they could do that. Or I could say, does anybody have dead man's toe? Play 1 ingredient from your hand onto one of the 5 piles in the cauldron. For you to play an ingredient, it must match the color or type. So I could play this oil of boil here because it matches the color, or I could play it here because it matches the type. So I'm going to play that here because it matches the type of the top ingredient in the pile. So yeah, you can't be like, oh, well, I remember 3 turns ago someone played oil of boil, so I can play that there. If they both match the color and type, if you have an ingredient that can be played, you must play it. Some ingredients also have a special symbol. So like this dead man's toe has a special symbol. When you play one of these special ingredients into the cauldron, do what the symbol indicates. So if I played this dead man's toe into the cauldron, I'd have to draw 1 card from the spell deck right here. So I could place this. So like it's Jordan's turn. Jordan can play dead man's toe, but now she has to draw the spell, and do what it says, and we will talk about that. If you cannot play an ingredient, the Sanderson sisters cast a spell, you must discard at least one ingredient from your hand and draw an ingredient from the deck to replace each one. You may discard your entire hand if you choose to, but must draw the same number of ingredients you discarded. You draw one ingredient from the top of the deck, draw one ingredient from the top of the ingredient deck in the center of the cauldron. This is done after any spells are resolved. Binks can help you communicate with other players without the witch's interference. When you play an ingredient that shows the Binks symbol on it, you get that token and get to place it in front of any player, including yourself. If you have Binks in front of you, you may play a card with your hand of cards revealed. So let's say I played Thine Own Tongue. So a dead man's toe. I get the Binks. So I can choose to place it in front of Jordan, or I could choose to place it in front of me. But after that, I get to show my entire hand for the time that he's out. There we go. That way everybody can see it a lot better. Binks stays in front of you until another ingredient showing Binks is played. You are specifically instructed to remove him from play, or the round ends. The spell book helps the witches fight back against your meddling. When you play an ingredient showing a spell book, so like this, like I said, this one, the witches cast a spell. You draw one spell card from the top of the deck and do what it says. So this says discard the top ingredient from each pile unless that ingredient shows Binks. So, like so. That ingredient shows Binks. And then you discard it. If the spell deck runs out, you just shuffle the spell discard back into the deck and place it face down as a new spell deck. However, if the spell is being cast by a witch who is stunned, the spell misses. Ignore the spell and discard it. Do not draw another spell. So each spell does tell you who's casting it. So this says Winifred. It's up at the top. I don't know if you guys can actually see it. So if Winifred is not stunned, then it's cast. But if she is stunned, then it's not cast, and you have to just skip over that. You don't draw another one. A little note, the spell Take Flight shows all three witches. It will never be ignored because all three witches are casting the spell, and only one witch can be stunned at a time. So that would be this card. This is Take Flight, and it's for all three. If the top cards of all 5 piles in the cauldron match, either by color or by type, then one of them is stunned. So these are all by type. This usually happens when a player plays an ingredient, but it could also happen after a spell is cast. Sometimes the Sanderson sisters' magic runs amok. Each witch is stunned by a different combination, but may stun the same witch multiple times, even if she still has the stun token on her. Winifred's spells are the most dangerous, so best stun her if you can. So, since all the ingredients are the same type, they all match, Mary gets stunned. Winifred only gets stunned if all ingredients and all 5 colors match, and all 5 colors are visible. So you gotta have orange, yellow, purple, green, and blue in order for Winifred to get stunned. If all 5 cards in the cauldron are the same color, then Sarah is stunned. If they are the same ingredient, then Mary is stunned, like I said previously. If they are the same ingredient and there is one of each color, then Winifred is stunned. Each time a witch is stunned, the sun token moves up 1 space. It doesn't matter which sister is stunned, and you may stun the same witch multiple times. You do not have to stun each witch once. If you stun a witch, the round ends immediately. If the ingredient played to stun the witch is a special ingredient, ignore the effects of its symbol. The round ends before a spell can be cast. At the end of the round, there are several different steps you have to take when it's over. So number 1, The player whose turn it is draws one ingredient from the deck. Yeah, I've been filling up my hand for sake of the video, but when you're normally playing, yes, you do need to draw once the round's over. Place the stunned token on the witch board over the picture of the Sanderson sister who is stunned. Only one witch can be stunned at a time. Any ongoing effects end immediately. Move the sun token up one space. Up the track indicated dawn is approaching. Gather all ingredients in the cauldron together with all the ingredients in the discard pile. So just take that discard pile. From these ingredients, remove all the special ingredients that show either Binks or the spellbook. So when the discard pile runs out, he goes back there. When the discard pile runs out, you don't shuffle him back in there. Place it face down in the center of the table. Set the remaining cards from the cauldron and discard pile without Binks or spellbook aside. They will not be used for the rest of the game. So if they do have them, they will not be used. Any cards without the Binks or spellbook symbol will be used. Any ones with them will not. Remove Binks from play. He will return to play when any player plays a special ingredient showing him on their card. And lastly, the new round begins with the player to the left of the last player to take their turn. A little note, players keep their hands between rounds and do not discard your hand when a round ends. If you move the sun token to the top space of the sunrise track, the sun rises and the Sanderson sisters are defeated. All players win. If you must draw an ingredient card when the ingredient deck is empty, all players lose. Note, when the ingredient deck is empty, the players do not immediately lose. They may continue taking turns without drawing ingredients. However, if the game forces you to draw, you cannot either via spell or because you cannot play an ingredient from your hand. The Sanderson sisters complete their potion and the game is lost. So basically, as you play through, we're going to be discarding the special cards. It's basically the same rules. If something forces you to draw a card from the deck, that's it. They win. But if you manage to get the sun to rise before that, then you win. Very simple. That's all you need to know to play Hocus Pocus the game. If you have any questions about this game, please put them in the comments below and I'll get to them as soon as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be notified when our next How to Play video will be coming out. And if you're a big fan of the channel as a whole, consider becoming a Patreon supporter on our Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, which unlocks you early access to How to Play videos, just like the one you just saw. Be on the lookout for our upcoming gameplay video, as well as thanking my patrons for supporting us. Thank you very much. But until then, thanks for the views.